A poll, new poll, this is from NBC and the Wall Street Journal. Ugly reading. 50% of registered voters strongly disapprove of the president, and half, 50%, say there is no way they'll vote for the president come November. Mercedes Schlapp is with us, Trump 2020 senior advisors. I'm sorry to go through this again, Mercedes, but look, this poll is really bad news, and it's got to be answered. You've got 109 days to the election. How are you going to turn this around?
Well, I got to tell you something. If we would have believed all the polls in 2016, we all would be saying that Hillary Clinton would be president, okay? We've actually analyzed over those 200 polls that were conducted in 2016, and the president was only up in maybe 16 of those polls. You look at the case in 2016 as well, where in Michigan, out of the 61 polls, he did not lead in any of them, yet he still won the state. So look, we can get into what methodologies they use, what sampling they use. In this particular poll, for example, it very much skews Democrats and independents. And, there's a certain narrative that these polls are saying. But I got to tell you, when it looks at our internal polls, the president is a very strong position when we are defining Joe Biden. And the definition of Joe Biden right now is that he has unified himself and made it very clear that he has joined hands with the socialists like Bernie Sanders and AOC. Just think about this, Varney. If you as a candidate, normally you run to the center in a general election. That's not what Joe Biden is doing. He is embracing the far left agenda, which we know would be absolutely destructive to our economy and to American workers.
Okay. Don't ignore the people who support the president but will not say that to the pollsters. I saw this poll the other day. I think it was 57% of people admitted that, they were uncomfortable saying, I support the president. They wouldn't say it publicly. So I think we should read that into the polls, because maybe that's a bit of a comeback from these.
I think you're right about that. And I do think that when the president says silent majority, I think there's truth to that. I think that the fact that so many Americans don't feel comfortable because they're so concerned of the backlash they're going to get for being a Trump supporter. We saw this with the Goya CEO of, of this great company. He has a great American story. He says one nice thing about the president, and the left goes wild. They are so intolerant, and they try to shut down this man, this Latino man, and this very successful company that's been a huge benefit for the Latino community. So it just shows you that there is that sense of fear out there of people really being, as I call, the silent whisperers who support the president.
Real fast, Mercedes, I've only got 20 seconds. Is there any chance that the convention in Florida next month will go virtual entirely?
We continue to work with the state and local officials and are making adjustments accordingly. Right now, as we've seen, our great chairwoman, Ronna McDaniel, has talked about this, where we're going to have a smaller convention where we're bringing our delegates in. Of course, their safety, their health is a top priority. We are going above and beyond what the local guidelines are in that state and ensuring, obviously, that we take care of our convention goers. At the end of the day, the president's event is going to be the one that's to watch, in the sense that millions of Americans will tune in to talk about his great accomplishments and highlight his great accomplishments during that week.
Mercedes Schlapp, as always, thank you, and we will see you again real soon.
Thanks so much.
Sure thing, Mercedes.